and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will move on to roll call.
Frank Myers.
Here.
Donna Roush.
Here.
Martha Patterson.
Here.
Casey Benner.
Here.
Leanne Woldvogel. We have a quorum.
Okay, moving on to the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to the approval of the minutes from our last meeting of August 17th of 2020. I'll second the motion. I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to introduction of evidence.
I have here the city ordinance book, design guidelines, and then you have the staff reports. We're in front of you, but you also received all of the staff reports and pertinent information last Thursday.
I have a motion and a second to accept the evidence. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, moving on to old business.
None.
Okay, we will move on to new business. We will start with SGHC 033-20 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace the screen door and frame on front doors and remove a transom light at 64 North 2nd Street. Is there anyone here to speak on that? Could you come to the podium and introduce yourself, please?
My name is Carl Pensby, and this is my wife, Susie Johnson.
We're the homeowners at 64 North 2nd.
Yep. So I don't know if you want us to continue on or just answer questions that you might have.
Is there only a light above one door?
Yes, and I'm not sure why, and the light doesn't work, and it's never worked since we've owned the house. It's a big box that just sits on the transom.
You're not talking about the windows, you're talking just about the lighting.
Yes, we just want to remove this box that doesn't work. We're not removing or changing the windows in any way at all.
Okay. You had me worried there, I thought you were talking about it.
No, we're not bricking over the transom. We still want the light to come in, and we think actually there'll be more light once this box that's about the size of 2 shoe boxes gets removed, and I'm not sure what it ever was up there for, frankly.
I'm assuming somebody just stuck it up there along the way.
Right. So, and then
This is the picture of the door they found.
And then the screen doors that are currently there, I have no idea what their history is, but they have dry rotted. We can't hang a flag or put a flagpole out in the jambs because that wood's dry rotted too. So the wood is just not usable for anything at this point.
I like it. Did you see the door?
I did.
I think that'll be classy. What do you think?
I think it'll look really nice. Are you gonna paint the doors back to?
Not the green, probably white.
Okay.
White is the color of the window sills and the framing of the windows. There is a green hatch that leads to the basement on the side of the house, but
The house at one point had green shutters, so I'm assuming that's why they painted the doors. The green, that all matched, but since there are no more shutters, we didn't really like the green.
Not concerned about the color, but the design of it, I think I prefer the old design if you understand more than the new one.
well,
But I think they're probably equal in terms of preservation because both of them are disposable without any damage to the original structure.
So I make a motion that we let them remove the box on the transom and replace their 2 screen doors.
I make a second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to approve the certificate of appropriateness. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The number is incorrect.
So 31 is 34?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to move on to SGHC 034-20 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to paint a wall sign on the south side of the building at 46 South 3rd Street.
I'm Joy French, and the owners of the Anvil, Jerry Holiday and Maggie Jett, asked me if I would paint something else on the side of the Anvil. After we did the Sells shoe sign, there was a 23 by 24 foot area that was painted at one time, but the paint was flaking away and looked really shabby compared to the nice painting that's there now. So I went in and did some prep work and did some scraping, did some filling in, and did some priming of the wall, and now they want to have the logo from the Anvil painted on that section of the wall.
Is that what was there before?
There was nothing there before. It was just a painted wall. And this is their, sort of their historic looking design that they have now.
I personally like the work you've done, but I think there is a limit to how much of that we can do in community. Because if you look around carefully, there's still some remnants of the wall paintings that we did during the annual, or not annual, but the big celebration we had in town. And there has to be something, some provision for the maintenance of these paintings, because they can look really shabby if you don't take care of them.
Right.
It's not to criticize your work. I think it's been done very well, but
Well,
I
the
think
quality
there is a
of paint.
limit, and I don't know who sets that limit. I just don't think we want every building in town painted with a very brilliant paint job. I would prefer not to double up on that wall.
Well, the wall has now been primed, so that helps to preserve the brick work that was flaking and everything, so.
Understand?
And now they just want to put their name on the side of their building.
On it,
Which they own.
1855, is that when the building was built?
I assume so, and the business was established, I'm not sure, but I assume that when the building was built.
I like it. I think it would add another element of art to the city.
Do we have any additional questions? What colors are you going to use?
The lettering's going to be done in white and then outlined in some of the blue that matches the cells, blue and black.
The packet does include a picture, and there are additional pictures available, historic pictures of that wall with multiple advertisements on it over the course of 150 years.
I think we as a city, and not this commission, but somebody in the city, preferably the city government, decide how far we want to go with painting this type of advertisement. Or some of it is very good on the old community, but I think you can overdo it.
But we don't have anything that says we can't, right?
That's right.
So,
And besides all that, I don't think the guidelines mentions anything about cleaning. And I don't think the wall signs are mentioned in the guidelines at all.
We have guidelines on signs. This should be a type of sign,
using a
Right.
symbol.
but it's a symbol. It's a wall sign painted on. It's on premise.
It's art.
And the name, the Anvil Saloon, is painted on the other side of the building as well. There's just not the logo and the picture of the well, there is a picture of an anvil up there, I believe.
Hard to
With
see
that.
though.
Yeah,
Up
it
to
is
the top,
faded
yes.
quite a bit.
Have you driven down that street recently and looked off to the left at the big building on the corner there? We've got the remnants of what we did for the
Bicentennial.
bicentennial still on that building, with no indication that it'll ever be maintained and updated. Not-
Which building is this?
Erosion, or the berm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be redone.
I'm not saying I'm against them. What I'm saying is that I think there's a limit, and when you put two of these giant things on that one building, I think you're approaching, if not passing, what should be acceptable.
I can certainly look into some mural ordinances in other cities and kind of begin that process.
But again, these people own the building, and I don't see why they can't have the name of their building painted on the side of their building.
how large are you thinking? Like, will it kind of be centered on?
It will be centered on that section of the wall. It'll be 15 feet high and 18 feet wide.
I'm going to make a motion that we accept this as presented.
I'm going to second the motion. I have a motion and a second to accept the certificate of appropriateness to paint the Anvil logo on the side of their building. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay, moving on to SGHC 035-20, to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install a white vinyl dog ear fence on the north and south side of the building and install black powder-coated handrails on the side porch at 108 North 4th Street.
So I have a packet going around that shows some pictures that I was provided by the contractor of what the fence would look like. My name's Vicki Colton. This is my wife, Mary Thurman. We are the owners of the home.
And I believe on there it states also the black powder coated handrails, because they've been taken off the side porch. They need to be, for safety reasons, they need to be replaced.
Yeah.
The handrails are on the side porch.
Either are missing, yeah, somehow
They have them, yeah, they have them going, some black ones that go down the back side and the front side on the wall. But our insurance agent told us that when you come out onto the side porch, you can go straight off of it because there's nothing to block somebody from going off. So it needs to have rails put down that. The holes are existing already in the cement. They're just, the rail was just taken out for some reason.
I think the idea that where you want to put the fence is perfectly appropriate. I sure am cautious about introducing white vinyl fences in the Berkeley historic area. It's going to stand out and not to the benefit of the historic nature of the district.
So let me explain how we ended up at that point.
What's that?
Let me explain how we ended up with white vinyl. So when we were talking to contractors, one of the things that we heard over and over again as we moved here from Las Cruces, New Mexico, was that they were having trouble getting wood because during the shutdown of the businesses and coronavirus, everybody was doing home improvements and even fencing companies couldn't get any wood. So when I called the contractor prior to us closing on our house to talk to him about it, he said he had not been able to get wood for a very long time. And so if we wanted to pay for wood, we would have to probably wait longer than what we really wanted to wait because now we have to walk our dogs out all the time to go to the bathroom and stuff instead of having a dog door and a place for them to go out and go to the bathroom. So he said, I can get vinyl faster and it costs the same amount as wood. And so that was before I realized that we were considered to be adjacent to we're in the historic district. So I said, well, then just a plain white picket fence because the house itself is very, very plain. It's not ornate in the least. So I figured that that would be a good style to complement the straight lines of our home. That's how we ended up with a white vinyl fence.
Yeah. We preferred wood also, but the 3 or 4 month wait was something that we weren't prepared for with the dogs.
And when I lived in historic St. Charles downtown, I had put in a white vinyl fence and I wasn't sure about it either, but it never aged, it was never dirty, it was never run down, it always looked pristine. And that was the one thing that I thought was fairly nice about it.
Yes, but it's pristine polyester in the middle of your historic district, which is not really appropriate. That's my opinion.
Sure.
I know everyone doesn't agree with it, but I just cannot see introducing white plastic fencing into the historic district. Fencing, yes. Where you want to put the fence, I agree with it. You need it. You should have something there, but not a white plastic fence.
Would you be willing to consider metal or black iron similar to the neighbor's house?
I mean, we'll do whatever we have to do.
Yeah, we'll do whatever we have to.
It just, my only issue is that the houses that are on either side of us that have the black iron fence are brick homes that are clearly more like craftsman style. They're more ornate. Then you have our house, which is basically just a box with a couple of dormers on it. And it's not ornate in the least. And to me, it's just it's unharmonious, I guess, for that. So, but, you know, we have to have a fence. We have dogs.
The wait time for wooden is 3 to 4 months or so?
Yeah, at least, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really the issue. And what's interesting to me is that we stopped to visit some relatives in Texas, and they said that the subdivision where they lived was having trouble putting up the fences for the houses that were being sold because there was no more wood to be had, wood fencing. And when I called contractors around here, they either didn't have any room in their schedule because they were too busy, or in the case of this guy, he said he couldn't even get wood from his suppliers. So
So I think we're going to break this down into two parts to vote. We'll vote on the fencing section, and then we'll vote on the handrail part. From what I understand, the handrails will match what's currently attached to the
Yes,
home, so it
yes.
will be, okay. Do we want to vote on the handrails first? Do we have additional questions on replacing handrails? They're black. Are they going to bright? I make a motion that we accept the handrails.
Black handrails?
Yes.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the reinstallation of the handrails on the side porch. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And do we have any additional questions on the fencing? Do you know, by chance, I know David sent a picture, but the measurements from the front, like where the fence would lay to the street, do you know those?
The distance from the street to,
Is it on his drawing?
On the front corner of the home where it was going to run across to,
yeah,
I look on my
it
phone
starts
first.
just behind the front porch. So the front porch is here, and then there was bushes, we just trimmed them out. But that's where it would start, is back from the front porch and then across, and then down the inside of the shrubs that are in our yard. So you would probably see, I don't know, like 10 feet of fence.
Maybe 15, and then around on the other corner where the garage is, you can barely see it at all.
Yeah, maybe 4 feet. That's just a gate in the back part.
Was it only on the one side of the house or on both sides of the house?
The fencing itself is really only on the one side. On the other side is, and on the front, the fencing on the front has a 5-foot gate to allow you to move in and out with whatever you need. On the back side of the house, on the left corner facing the house, there's actually going to be a 5-foot gate there. And the fence post is going to run from the corner of the existing garage over to just past the corner of the building in the back.
So the left side is basically a gate.
Yeah. Another 5-foot gate. So it should have like 2 posts and maybe 3 posts.
Yeah,
This portion here, so this is 4th Street.
yeah.
This would just be a gate, almost, maybe a small.
Yeah, just a small run to secure it.
This is, to me, what I'm hearing is this is what everyone's kind of asking about, this piece that would be up front here, 12, 15 feet long, and it would incorporate.
Nothing back here.
There's nothing there currently, no.
Well,
It would go
you
across
won't
the
keep
front and
dog
down
in
there.
if that's open.
The property next to us has a black fence installed on their part of the property. If we drop a post at the corner of our property line, there's no way that our dogs can get out. So we're not attached to their fence, we're just dropping a pole where their fence ends on our property line. And part of the reason we elected to run it on the inside is because we didn't want any visible discontinuity from our bushes lining that nice driveway they have and their black fence to moving over into our property, and us having just a short run of white fence. So,
With such a small project, I hate to be setting a precedent which will permit an argument for everybody that wants a fence in the historic district, white plastic.
so
And that's not really what the historic district is supposed to look like,
Right.
in my estimation.
So I completely understand what you're saying, 100%. So here's my thing, is that I have to find, if you guys don't approve the vinyl fence, then I need to know what you would approve, following the same thing, so I can get the quotes and then get a certificate of appropriateness on that.
I would prefer to see either metal similar to the next door, both neighbors, or even white, like the other homes that are on the house, wooden white,
Okay.
opposed to vinyl,
And that can be approved tonight if you want to commit.
with an alternative material.
Okay.
Okay.
And I wanted to let the commission know, one of the reasons I forwarded this, because the guidelines don't call for allowing plastic fencing. But this commission has approved some fencing in the backyard of chain link, vinyl. This is like murky.
Very
Close to the street. Close to the front, not really the back.
Well, and that's the reason that I cited that paragraph when I applied for it, was because it didn't really say you couldn't, but it didn't say you couldn't, and I put that down to the material changes as we go, over the years.
Sure.
So, I would...
Well, in new construction, it does change over the years, but in
Yeah.
historic preservation, your objective is to keep it fairly close to what it was when it was originally built. And when you add new things to add items which are compatible with the historic district. Maybe you could paint the white fence black.
No.
No, black picket fence would just be a little goth.
Okay, that takes that argument out of the way.
So,
It says here, appropriate fence materials include wood, iron, wire, stone, or plant. And then over here it says chain link, concrete blocks, unspaced concrete, plastic, fiberglass, plywood, and mesh. Construction fences are inappropriate. Isn't chain link fence a wire fence?
yes.
But I think they mean the older wire that's decorative and knee height,
Like-
that just doesn't have higher.
We approved one either last month or the month before down on Main Street. Basically, it looks like an old iron fence, only it's wrought iron.
And honestly, just my opinion, because you were saying your house isn't very fancy. Honestly, I think it's great. It's a great house. And
Well, it's a great house, we love it.
and I think that the black fence would make it pop. That's just my opinion.
So you said we could approve this tonight if we committed to, is it wood or metal, or do we have to pick one?
And I think committing to a material,
As long as it's not vinyl.
Okay.
I mean,
that's up to
Are we
the
agreed?
commission.
I'm okay with a wooden or the metal,
Okay.
because there's both on that street, on the block. There's actually multiple metal and multiple wooden fences on the block.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we will agree to put up a wooden or a metal fence then.
Sure.
And
Metal.
keeping
Matching the metal.
black metal that's similar to, because there's two different styles on either side of us.
Or a wooden dog-eared picket.
Picket.
4 foot, kind of match 2 neighbors down.
Right.
Yeah, they have the picket,
Yes.
they have the pointed,
Fence, metal, fence, no.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility as long as everyone here is.
I make a motion that we accept that they are going to either do a wooden or a metal fence in place of what they, I don't know how to word this, but I make a motion we
In
accept.
place of vinyl,
In
yeah.
place of vinyl.
We're going to accept.
Does that include the white plastic?
No, we're not getting any white plastic.
Okay.
So the motion is to approve a certificate of appropriateness to install either a white wooden dog-eared picket fence or black metal, matching the neighbors, fence on the north and south sides of the building. Does that sound right, Donna?
And yes, that's right.
I second it.
okay, I have a motion and a second to approve with the alternative materials. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion carries. I will put that certificate in the mail.
Okay.
Awesome,
Thank you so much.
There's also a fence permit for like a building permit whenever you're ready. So
Okay.
you're new, so I just wanted to let you know.
All right, thanks.
Welcome to St. John.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to SGHC 036-20 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace a slate shingle roof with architectural shingles at 415 Jefferson Street.
Good evening. I'm Ted Holland. This is my sister, Christine Bowman. We are the owners of 415 Jefferson Street. Through the unfortunate execution of a beneficiary deed following the death of our mother in July. A few days after that happened, dead tree limbs fell out of the neighbor's tree onto a slate-type shingle roof, damaged many of the shingles, and we're looking to replace that with a modern architectural shingle. I've been to 7 different roofing supply dealers between Cape Girardeau and the city of St. Louis to try and find a shingle that would match. And the story was repeated over and over that these shingles are no longer made. I will never find anything that matches them exactly. I should go ahead and replace the entire roof. So looking at other houses in both the block and the downtown area, going with a modern architectural shingle seemed a good fit. We didn't dwell long on a metal roof because the house already has aluminum siding, and we thought it would look like a tin cracker box if we put the metal roof on top of aluminum siding. Any other questions?
Well, you've got a roof that needs repaired.
Yes, sir.
The material that was on it was great, but no longer available. So you had no choice but to come up with an acceptable substitute.
Yes, sir.
I think in that case, we almost have to go along with the substitute so long as it's a good product and it's not color-wise. What are you doing?
Yes, sir. I found this one in the attic. Yeah, no, I found this in the attic is probably dropped by a workman of that color gray. Right now they're blackish from dirt and fungus. Yeah. So we're thinking of something in this color, keeping with the gray.
That's very attractive.
Do you have any questions?
I'd make a motion that we approve the project as submitted.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve the certificate of appropriateness. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
The certificate will be in the mail.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Okay, we're going to move on to administrative approvals.
Yes, there's 3 that I wanted to go over. We had a roof replacement and repair at 10 South Main, replacing existing non-original materials with same or similar materials. Roof replacement at 93 South Gabourey. Again, it's existing non-original materials with same or similar. Those are also architectural shingles. And then porch repair at 166 North 3rd, replacing existing non-original materials. The materials will still be wood, but there's rot on the porch there, and the homeowner is trying to repair it. Any questions on those 3?
Okay, moving on to other business.
I made a copy of this for each of you. I just wanted to discuss it because this is part of the grant that we are receiving. This is just an RFP. I'm sorry. This is a response to an RFP, I guess, from hold on here, Preservation Resources Incorporated. I call it Bob Yap. So if you remember the SHPO grant that we received for a historic preservation workshop was set to involve a hands-on workshop on repairing wooden windows and a hands-on workshop on repairing wooden siding and trim, and then a day of classroom and classes and things of that nature. So we put out the request for proposal. I sent those requests to approximately 10 different organizations, some recommended by the State Historic, or not recommended, but provided by the State Historic Preservation Office, and some that other Missouri organizations had used for their historic preservation workshops. I got 4 calls back asking some questions, some specifics about, do you see this happening at this time of the year? Do you have to have the same company do both the window workshop and the wood workshop? And so I answered all those questions and ended up getting one response. Bob Yap does multiple workshops around the state. He's actually based in Hannibal, Missouri, and does workshops. Part of his response here, he gives some examples of workshops he's done. Here's one in Salt Lake City for the Preservation Utah organization. Here's one in Topeka, Kansas. And of course, if you have a moment, and you can take these with you if you need to, he lists the multiple events that he has done, including for the Kentucky State Historic Preservation Office, Tennessee, Wisconsin, South Dakota, Minnesota, Kansas, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Iowa, Missouri, and Oklahoma State Historic Preservation Offices. So he has worked with multiple states on these very subjects, historic window restoration and repair, as well as exterior wood siding and window trim repair. So he has turned in a letter. My plan, should you all see fit, would be to work with him to get this contract put in place, and then this would tentatively happen in May of 2021.
Will I still be able to come?
Absolutely. I apologize I didn't get this to you earlier, but it just came to me Thursday, I believe. But it was the only bid we got. It's very close to the dollar amount that we wish to spend. I hope to work with SHPO and Mr. Yap to maybe decrease the cost a little bit. But this is who I thought would win, because this is the gentleman who does most of these workshops. Any questions?
That is very much needed here, that type of thing. I mean, we have some good craftsmen, I'm not saying we don't, but there are different ways of doing things, and it's quite easy to forget the old way. And that in the historic district, you want to do it so that it appears to be the old way.
Absolutely, and he'll, like on the window workshop day, I don't know if we'll do up to 20, that number may change, but 15 to 20 people from 8 to 5, he will take you through the entire process of removing the window, the sash from the jamb, repairing it, replacing the glass, and then weatherizing it. And he states in here that the, I should have highlighted it, hold on, I need some music like from Jeopardy. I'm going to have to wing it. Once he does this and shows you how to do it and weatherizes it, it will actually pass the current existing weatherization code that exists out there for the energy efficient use of windows. And it's a wood window, so very nice. Very good program. Any other questions? I just wanted to go over it with you.
Will there be any cost to the 20 or 25 people?
As of right now, no. The grant, the SHPO and then the city has a match portion there. It would be free. However, if the cost is a little higher than we anticipated, there might be a minimal cost.
Because I want Carl to do it, just because that gives him continuing
Education. Yep. So at this point, as long as the commission is comfortable moving forward with this, I'll contact SHPO and work with her to get a contract signed by Mr. Yap. We'll work out the cost, the dates and times, travel and things of that nature, and report back to you when I have something solid.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Do we have any public comments? Nope.
You guys could go home with me.
Anyone's dinner. Okay, we can adjourn.
6:39. Thank you all very much.